Washington Shakespearean Festival storage trailer. Thank you to our sponsors helping make this possible. And this is Keith. Say hi to all our fans, Keith. He's the man of magic who's going to make this happen.
Okay, now I'm going to back up and then let me know where I'm going.
Okay. Ask my neighbor Pete. Okay. Yep. About 4 feet. You're not quite touching the fence. So you're good there. Now we can scoot that back a little bit. Look at that. You didn't even touch the fence. Hey, he's there for a bang.
Double check.
Looking good. Oh!
That's it.
That worked out good.
Hopefully the plan comes together.
Look at that. His side was slightly better than mine. I was a little bit off. I may be able to sledge this just forward an inch. All right. That's what you get when you got a master craftsman at the wheel.
I do it a lot. Now you know the trick to open these?
Let's see. So, you want to be in show business? The glamour, the glory, wonder of it all, the magic. This is where some of it starts. This, my friends, is a 20-foot storage container. And in this will hold the props, the costumes, the armor, the shop to make those dreams come real. This is the new TARDIS of the Washington Shakespearean Festival. We call it BB2 because that's what's on it. BB2, the TARDIS. I'm hoping actually to maybe paint a sideways TARDIS on the wall someday. And this is some of the stuff we just got in, swept it out. Now I'm going through and excitingly using a paint stripper machine and getting some of the loose paint off. As you can see, this has seen many voyages, who knows where. And so, welcome to the Washington Shakespearean Festival Inner Sanctum. Dun, dun, dun. Just joking. This is preparing the wall for the paint that we're going to be putting onto it, spraying onto it in the next day or so. Well, I had fun. A couple hours of grinding and chipping away old paint. Yeah, I think this, I think I'll just go to bed now. Yeah, this is just a minor little, I'm going to take a shower. It's been a long day, a lot of hard work, but it's a lot of good work. So, yeah, I clean up much better than this. So, thanks for joining us on the journey. Shakespeare is great. Show business. That's what it's all about. This is now April 4th in the evening. I spent the last lots of bits scraping BB2 over there. Scraping, we got some new lights in there. We could get some more illumination to see the job we were doing. And after investing in a lot of scraping things that go into the end of a drill motor, what we ended up with doing is just taking a pry bar, which is also a scraper, and using that. And that came up with a bunch of stuff. Happy news, when I first opened up the BB2, a bird flew into it, went to the back wall, and then went down underneath our pallets that we had in there, and I didn't see it. And I was very worried, and I pulled up the pallets and was looking for it, and came back a little while later and flew out. So whew, I was worried about those little things. What type of omen did that mean? So it's now 8:30, and I'm going to go and get a shower because I want to be accepted by a polite society. Thank you very much for accompanying this journey. We're going to get this thing done and go on to the next chapter. So long. Today is the 9th of May, about 8:30 in the evening. I just got through scraping more, but I think I'm finally done with the inside for scraping. And now, of course, we're going to get to painting eventually. I found out that one of my favorite tools, although the central pin broke, but it may have just been a defect, but I'm going to go ahead and say this product, this maybe backwards, rotor stripper is what it says, was working well to take off the paint, better than any other grinder or something that I had used, and was right up there with doing it by hand with a scraping bar, except it was a lot faster. And actually, if you just use the tip of the pins, then it was actually a lot quieter too. Ta-da! So we will proceed for the next, guess getting it painted. So thanks for being with us. Bye.
Greetings, Earthling. I come in peace. Actually, it's GR here. And I'm about to go in and go painting and spray painting the inside of the Washington Shakespearean Festival storage container. Da, da, da. Wish me luck. The force is strong with this one.
Today is the 18th of May, 2022. And it's the first meeting of the Washington Shakespearean Festival Club, Shakespeare Club, here at Friendly Village. Hi, this is Greg Robin Smith. Today is the 31st of May, 2022, the last day of the month before I go into June. Tomorrow I leave for the Montana Renaissance Festival in Red Lodge, Montana. And we're getting a lot of last minute things done. This is all part of a ongoing effort to expand our influence and expand our product, our programs, our efforts, our art, etc. And this thing's going to come out to about half an hour of kind of a documentary of the things we've done. And feel free to skip around, of course, and come back later or whatnot. But this will just kind of document some of our work. The container is a major new stepping stone in our plans for eventually a statewide Shakespeare Festival that will involve every college in the state, is our hope. And we will also be working at doing major productions, as well as continuing our videos and doing smaller productions, a touring variety show on Shakespeare, almost like a mini Renaissance festival where our actors will teach dances to the audience, teach fight choreography, do songs, instrumentals, and their favorite scenes from Shakespeare and some of the other playwrights, comparing, contrasting, introducing similarities between the plays, how each play handles the main subjects of death, order, love, transformation, and sovereignty. And some of our video works, our audio works, our music works, writing, teaching as well, of course, is always going to be a major portion of what Washington Shakespearean Festival is gearing for. And I want to thank you for helping us on the journey. Patrons are one of the ways that we can afford some of this. The storage container is over $2,300, but considering that we're renting storage units now at $200-$300 a month total, we just got one cleared, absolutely empty and out of it, and that was $180 a month. So in a year or so, we'll have paid off the storage unit and then pay the small amount of rent that we have to pay for where it's located. So this is a way that we advance and take the money that we gain from our fundraising and continue our work. You are a large part of that. Right now, we're up over $1,000 in earnings from our Patreon accounts. Thank you very much. And then, of course, money from Ben Franklin performances, money from my appearances at Renaissance fairs, like the one I'm going to this weekend, come back to the company. And of course, as I said, the Ben Franklin program is offered to PTAs and churches and community groups and service organizations as a fundraiser for the public. You sell the tickets, I come and perform Ben Franklin, and we split the money. And that comes in, and it works well. But I wanted to give you kind of a long update as to what was going on. Thank you very much for being part of this journey. There will be more of these. And if you have any questions, please write me at grSmith@WashingtonShakespeareanFestival.org. It's a long email. Yes, I know. All right. Take care. Bye. That piece I was going to be calling The Flight of Geese. And the geese came in right on cue. Unexpectedly. Sometimes the magic happens. Smith, and I am the managing director of the Washington Shakespearean Festival. And we're here at a club meeting at our at the Friendly Village. And I wanted to take a few minutes to explain a little bit about what Washington Shakespeare Festival is, was, and will be. We are a small but sincere group with a very large name. And our goal is to actually produce works and to help support other nonprofits throughout the entire state and our region. And we're going to do this, as we have been doing it for many, many years, through a combination of performance, education, and research, and producing product of one sort or another. We also are very vested in helping other groups do fundraising through our various programs. And when people think about Shakespeare, they oftentimes think of simply the works, the plays. Something you can pick this up at any bookseller, different collections of the works and the sonnets, the plays, King Lear, Hamlet, Henry IV, Taming of the Shrew, etc. And this is one way of looking at Shakespeare, and indeed some people think this is all that Shakespeare is simply the body of work. But if you look at any artist, be it like Van Gogh, or musicians such as Mozart, or Francesca
Caccini.
Or Francesca Caccini, one of the first women opera composers we know of, or anything, if you just look at the work, that gives you one facet of their entire being. But how much more rich does the experience become when you look at not only them and their life and their experiences, but the world around them? So a great deal of our research and our interest is not only about Shakespeare, but about the Elizabethan world, and indeed the world that he existed in, which includes, of course, everything from the Spanish Armada and troubles between the fairly new Protestant church and its wars with the Roman Catholic Church, and about the trade at the time, of course, opening up of the New World and of the colonization efforts of the British Empire. And how all this not only informed the work and influenced the work, but also what it did to the public. Because remember, these works of Shakespeare's were designed for a fairly new art form, public theater. This is something that was not really known or done really much before Shakespeare's time. And so what we do is, again, in our research, is we examine the entire program, what we do is examine the entire oeuvre, the entire background of the time, and research not only just in doing papers and books and whatnot, but also in actually experiencing it. And we do that by creating armor, wearing it, participating with other historical recreation groups that are out there, and helping present programs in schools and in programs for the public, such as coming to retirement villages or libraries and such, and doing programs. And we study the heraldry, as well as, of course, the works about Shakespeare and his contemporaries, Marlowe, Burbage, Handels and Conway. All these are a part of our interest. But we find that by doing more than simply looking at the works, but actually participating in the works and in the reality of the time, learning how the dances went, cooking by their recipes, making costumes and wearing them, which is a very different experience than simply looking at pictures of them. This is part of what we do and part of what interests us, and we hope that you are interested in us, because everybody has a skill that can be used. If you're a scrounger, if you're a person who likes to browse the internet looking for people who have extra lumber or extra material that they want to give away or get rid of, we can oftentimes use that kind of thing. And also people who have needs. If you have a student struggling in school, we may be able to help with this particular subject in this particular era, or just how to make history more fun and entertaining. We also have needs of people who do costuming, who are interested in doing research, and of course, people are interested in performing. Even if it's not on the stage, if they're interested in knowing more about the language of the period, or about the poetry of the period, the music of the period, these are all things that we are interested in exploring more and producing videos, etc. I encourage you to go to these websites. These are two Patreon pages that we run, the www.patreon.com/GregRobin, all one word, or patreon.com/WaShakeFest. And they have many of our videos and many of our publications and references there. That many of them are there free for you to browse and enjoy and share. We hope that you participate and are interested in participating, either to come act in or work with us, or just enjoy our various productions. We said there's Shakespeare, there's the world of Shakespeare, there's producing Shakespeare, and then creating new content based on that era. I've talked a little bit about fundraising, and yes, we can use Shakespearean programs or my individual work at Renaissance fairs, which is one of the ways that we bring money into the company. Is I perform at Renaissance fairs, and then they donate money to the Renaissance company, to the Shakespeare company. But also, in somewhat outer period, I perform as Benjamin Franklin. I perform as Benjamin Franklin. I've been doing this for 22 years, and all over the country, and in Israel for a performance there. And these programs are available for you in your community center, you in your school, your religious group, book clubs, dinners with Benjamin Franklin, and I perform for very small intimate groups as well as for several hundred people and television audiences of over 20,000. So I performed at presidential libraries and for presidential inaugurations and Pulitzer Prize celebrations, etc., in many different states. So this program is available to you and your group, and we simply make an arrangement of part of the proceeds go to you and part of the proceeds go to our causes. So that is something also available. And more information there at www.ben-franklin.org. Thank you very much for your time. We hope that you find enjoyment, find enlightenment with our programs. And please contact us here with any questions. Farewell. What is a play? What is a prop? What is a scene? What's an audience? What makes a line memorable? What makes an expression worthy of remembering? What is it that stays with an audience, whatever that is? What is it that compels people to sit in an uncomfortable seat for 2 hours, traffic to get there, to watch people try and make real a situation which is patently unreal? And what is it that even after all that falsity and all that artificiality, does it stay with us as much as anything that ever happens to us in real time? We have things that we touch and remember, and things that represent. A sword, a dagger, a gauntlet or glove, a book, a piece of armor, a religious symbol, a spoon, a scratch on a boot, a nick out of a dog's ear. These are all things which carry with them memories, such as the smell of a baking loaf of bread can bring back a very tangible memory from decades ago.
Once in my life, I have someone who needs me, someone I've needed so long. For once unafraid, I can go where life leads me. Somehow I know I'll be strong. For once I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I knew. Someone like you will make my dreams come true. Yeah, for once in my life.
So this is super cool. This is the Washington Shakespearean Festival shipping container, storage container. We just got this to put a bunch of our props into. Been working on it, adding in some recycled wood shelves, as you can see. But the box gets very hot, and we have no direct power here. So I purchased a Four Seasons Canada Green solar powered vent, which should help keep this from getting super hot and our stuff melting on the inside. So I opened up the box, and before I could finish reading the directions, it started up. It has enough, it already gotten enough solar power, and it's a cloudy day. And it's already got enough solar power. After opening the box, I just got it delivered today, and it's already running. I think that's kind of cool. So I even sent a hat. Cool. Hi, this is G.R. Smith with the Washington Shakespearean Festival, fitting out our new storage container for all of our props and items, armor, books, etc. And more on this later and in other videos, and how we're going to keep this dry and also not too hot during the summer with a solar powered fan that we got. But this is about one of the additions we have for our Renaissance Fair work. We have a period pavilion, we've got a large umbrella for sun shade, and we also got a pop-up tent. Now, I've had a few in my life, but this is a new one. This is from Amazon Basics, the outdoor pop-up canopy, 9 feet by 9 feet, top slant leg with wheeled carry. So this is the unpacking video. And what just came out of the bottom of the box, put this in, is what I assume to be the storage bag. It looks pretty well made. Good canvas, and it all goes in here, and then it's got a somewhat rolling base, I guess. So makes it easy to drag. And now we have we have some line and Amazon Basics instructions, which I'm hoping are, like IKEA on steroids. Okay, I think I've got the legs. I must have the bottom of it here, and this is really, really well packed. It's certainly not lightweight. Okay, that's part one. And here is the pretty red, one of our colors, one of our tinctures in the Washington Shakespearean Festival is red. We're black, red, and gold, or sable, gules, and ore, which are doing things with Renaissance and medieval heraldry. And next I will try and set this up, and in between the times, I will actually read the directions. Yes, I identify as male, and I do read directions, but I'm better if somebody else reads them with me. But I'm here alone, so I'll have to struggle through. Words, 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 words. Okay, getting ready, reading the directions, and notice that it says in these cool little graphics, which are rather understandable, I need 2 people. Hello? Hello? Anyone? Just me. But we in the Shakespeare world are resourceful. I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. It says right here in the directions, do not wash, do not tumble dry, do not iron, do not bleach, do not dry clean. It's like it knows me. Okay, note, it's supposed to have wheels and an axle and some lightweight stakes to help stick it down, and maybe some sandbags. I don't see the sandbags, but I did find the package in the fold-up portion that had the wheels and the axle and stuff. But no, sandbags. Maybe sandbags might be extra, but so far so good. Aha! Now for some live action. Halfway up, I'm going to go underneath, and then just begin to push up the edge poles here, or rather the ribs here, which are not quite staying in place yet. That's okay. Hope I'm not making you seasick here. Okay, Velcro on, Velcro on. This is supposed to go up to the first click. This is supposed to go up to the first click. This is supposed to go up to the first click if I say it fast enough, long enough. This is it in its full height. Looks pretty sturdy. I'm sure it wouldn't stand much in the way of a full hurricane or anything. or even a huge wind, but for our purposes of giving people a shade pavilion when they come to see our Renaissance shows, or a mist pavilion, where they can get cooled off in hot sun, we have a couple of pump sprayers. You can see them over there, the home and garden pump sprayers. Never been used for anything else. Going to fill them with water, you pump it up, and you spray, and you feel cooler. So that's one of the things we witnessed last year at Kalispell at the Montana Renaissance Fair. It was really hot, and there wasn't really a whole lot of shade then. Then they brought in a circus tent for the second weekend, and much better. But I want to be able to, if people are sitting there at our area playing games, hearing stories, music, etc., on the stage we're going to have, I want them to be able to escape, get some ease and such. Now this is it in its full extension. I'm going to drop it down because I don't really need the height right now, just to keep some of our things dry, which are getting rained on. That stuff getting wet, look, not good. So okay, I'm going to lower it back down, and voila. I now have a close to the ground, because I've lowered it back down to its first station. Makes perfect cover for these empty boxes and things which I have not put into the storage container yet. And I'm pretty satisfied with this. And it looks good. I love the red. Right, that's the unboxing and assembly video from the Washington Shakespeare Festival and the Washington Shakespearean Festival and the Washington Shakespeare Festival and celebrations, depending on which DBA you want to look up. Thank you.